Hello friends of Sudoku and welcome to what I expect is going to be a very tough puzzle. This is built as an expert puzzle on a stack of photocopies of various puzzles that I have and that I'm still working through. I've solved quite a few of these and they have all been tough and I have not always been able to solve them notation free. This is just a warning. So expecting also that this video might be somewhat longer than my usual videos. We shall just have to see how it goes. 7-1 blocks across, 7-1 blocks down. So 7 and 1 must go here. At least that is a beginning. And one of these now must be a 7 and a 1 can go in one of these 3 squares. There's a single naked 8 here because these 8s block over, right? So this must be an 8. Threes must go here or here, and 6 here or here. We also have a 6 blocking over and a 6 blocking down, making one of these a 6, and therefore one of these must be a 6. A 1 must go up here somewhere. Oh, and a 4. A naked 4 goes here. And now one of these must be a 4 for the simple reason that this 4 blocks this square, and we need to have a 4 in this row. So one of these two must be a 4. The 8 blocks here and the 8 blocks here, so one of these must be an 8, and this 8 blocks up here, so one of these must be an 8. Four is blocked down like so, therefore this is a 4. And we know now, because of the 4 blocking here and the 4 blocking here, that one of these must be a 4. There's a 1 blocking over here, therefore this is a 1, and this is now a 6 and a 3. We got a 6 in the column, making this a 3, and this is 6. This 3 blocks over, this 3 blocks up, and therefore this is a 3. What was that? Therefore this is a 3. 3 now must go here or here. 4 must go here or here. We also need a 2 and a 5 to complete this row. 2. But that still remains unclear. What is clear, however, is that the 2 blocks here and the 2 blocks here, so one of these is a 2. And therefore a 2 must go in one of these 3 squares here. Actually in one of these 2 squares, because the 2 blocks here, and that makes one of these a 2. And by the way, we got the 7-1 here, and we got the 7-1 blocking down here. So these also have to be 7 and 1s, right? Now look at the 7-1s here. They block down here. So all of these squares are blocked from being 7 and 1s. So therefore, these 2 squares must be 7 and 1. Therefore, the column still needs a 2, 5, 8, and a 9. There's a 2 and a 9 blocking this square. So this is a 5 or an 8. That's not particularly helpful. But I'm also noticing, by the way, the 2 blocking up and the 2 blocking up and the 2 blocking over, making this a 2. And we did have a 2 blocking up here. So now with the 2 2s here, these must be 2s. along with these. And these must be 2's as well. And the 2 can go in any of these 3 squares. So back to the 5, 8, and 9 here. That is not yet possible to solve. But we do need a 2, 6, and a 9 for these 3 squares. There's a 6 blocking this square and a 6 blocking this square. Therefore, this is a 6. And now one of these must be a 6. This is a 2, 9, and this is a 2, 9. I'm trying to get a handle on the 6's. If we got a couple of 6's blocking down, so a 6 must go in one of these squares here. We got a couple of 6's blocking down, so a 6 must go in one of these 2 squares here. And yes, no, I thought I spotted an X-wing kind of thing, but I didn't. By the way, the 1, 7 blocks here and the 1, 7 also block here, so something to be aware of, that 1 and 7 must be among those 3 squares here. Let me examine column 5 for a bit. It needs to find 2, 4, 5, 6, and a 9. There's a 2, 4, 9 here, so this is a 5 or a 6. 2 and a 4 here. 4 can't go here, so one of these is a 4. 2 can't go here, so these have to be 2 and 4's, don't they? Yes, they have to be 2's and 4's. I will reiterate, 2's and 4's cannot go anywhere in this block here because they are already present. 2 and 4 cannot go in this square here. So we only got 2 squares left for 2's and 4's. And now all of a sudden we only need to find 4 other digits for this column. One of them has to be a 9. This square is blocked by this 9. And this square has to be a 2 or a 4, and besides it's blocked by this 9. So one of these squares must be a 9. And I believe that finds us a 6. Because a 6 is blocked here, a 6 is blocked here. This is a 2 or a 4, therefore this is a 6. So 2 and a 4, 2 and a 4, that is now 5 and a 9 here. What does that leave us? Well, it leaves us with a 1, 7, and an 8 for these 3 squares. And a 1 is blocking here, so one of these is a 1. But we knew that all the time. I believe I have found a 6 for this square here, and this is how it goes. The 6 blocks down, and this 6 blocks down, and this 6 blocks over, and this square is a 1 or a 7. Therefore, this is a 6. And now this square must be a 6, and so must this. So all the 6's have been found now. And now we have blocked this square here. Finding the 4 and the 2 in these 2 squares is a simple case of logic because the 4 blocks down here, the 4 blocks over here. We know that one of these is a 2 because the 2 blocks over here, and the 2 also blocks over here. So these 2 squares are blocked by 4s and 2s, and these 2 squares as well because they are present in the row. So these are 4s and 2s. And since we have an 8 blocking down and another 8 blocking down, this square must be an 8. We know that this is a 1, 7. This is a 4, 2. Therefore, this must be a 5. The 5 blocks up. Therefore, one of these is a 5. We also know because of the 4 that blocking up that one of these is a 4. So 4 and 5 here, 2 and 9 here. There's a 9 blocking across, so this is a 2 and this is a 9. This therefore must be a 2, making this a 2, not this. This. And we know that this now must be a 4 because these 2 squares have to be 5 and 9, and besides they are blocked by this 4. So this is a 4. These 2 now must be a 5 and a 3. Let's see, I can't solve that. This 9 blocks across, this 9 blocks up, therefore this is a 9. These are 4 and 5s, therefore this must be a 7. That puts a 7 in this square. These are still 5 and 9, therefore these are 1 and 8. There's an 8 in the row, making this a 1 and this an 8. That looks a lot prettier than when I began this puzzle, I have to say. A 1 and a 7 for these squares. There's a 7 in this row, so this is a 1 and this is a 7. Therefore, this is a 1. We got a 7 blocking up and 1 blocking over, therefore this is a 7. Now one of these must be a 7 along with one of these. We also know that one of these is a 1, so one of these can't be a 1, and it isn't because these two 1s block like this. Therefore, one of these up here must be a 1. Can we do something around, along this column here? A 3, 5, and a 8 to be found. There's an 8 blocking here, and there's an 8 blocking here. So this is an 8, and therefore this is an 8. And the final 8, I believe, of this puzzle is here. Yes, we got the 6s and the 8s now. These squares must be a 3 and a 5. Oh, then we'll have to wait, I think. Must be something else that we can do in the meantime. 3, 4, and 5 here. A 4 and a 2 go down here, therefore a 4 must go here, and this must be a 3, and this must be a 5, making this a 5 and this a 3. Yes, I think that is correct. This square has got to be a 3 now, making this a 3 by normal sudoku rules, and this must also be a 3. So 2 and a 4 here, that should make it possible to find that this is going to be a 9. Making this a 9. 9 blocks over, 9 blocks up, making this a 9, making this a 9, and this a 5 because we have analyzed that already. 5 blocks over, 5 blocks up. This is therefore a 5, making this a 5. this square has got to be a 1 or a 7 still, and this is a 1 or a 7 still. We got a 7 missing in this row, so this is a 7, therefore we can resolve this row like so. This must be a 1. This is a 5, and this is therefore a 5, making this a 4, and this is a 4, this is a 2, and this is a 2. I have to say this was a lot easier than I had anticipated. Most of these puzzles in this stack of photocopies, I haven't been able to solve that easily. But I hope that you got a few pointers and tips on how to analyze a board like this, and that you will come back for more soon. Thank you for watching, and goodbye for now.